Okay, we can get started. Hi everyone. Welcome to the July Honua Scholars Dialogue session. My name is Karina. This is my first dialogue session, and I'm taking over as the dialogue director from now on. So I'll be at all the meetings. And then today we have Courtney. She's going to be talking about the proposal competition. So yeah, whenever you're ready, Courtney.
Thanks, Karina. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Sorry, give me one sec. Okay, there we go. Can everyone see that? Okay. As Karina said, hi everyone, welcome to our July 2025 dialogue series. Today I'll be giving a brief overview of our 2025 Honua Scholars Proposal Competition, which is currently live and accepting submissions now through mid-October. And the deadline will appear in today's presentation. Today, I'm just going to cover really briefly the purpose and history of our competition, specific updates to the 2025 iteration, and then cover the first 5 steps or so of preparing and submitting a proposal, and then open it up for Q&A. This meeting is also being recorded, and if you have any questions or you're watching our recording, feel free to scan the QR code at the end, which will take you to the homepage for Honua Scholars, and you can follow the links to send us an email. On the right, you'll see our just a screenshot of our flyer, our main flyer for this year, which contains the theme, deadline, and then the eligibility. And we'll go ahead and cover most of those top 3 points. So first, purpose and history of the proposal competition. So for the most part, nothing has changed over the years in terms of the purpose of why we, as an organization, have designed and continue to implement, or rather, I guess, publish a proposal competition. So we want to provide an opportunity for students, not only here in Hawaii, but nationwide or globally, to have an opportunity to generate innovative ideas using and implementing STEM, science, technology, engineering, math, as well as medicine in their local communities. And then most recently, we are also targeting and helping students improve their reading, writing, and speaking skills. These are just a few pictures of students who participated in the 2024 proposal competition. And the speaking skills really came into play when they were invited to give a 1 to 2 minute pitch of their proposals, their written proposals, at our annual symposium. So in addition to giving students an opportunity, again, to share their ideas, we really want to be able to leverage students and help them showcase their expertise, as well as their passions and interests in specific issues that, again, are affecting their everyday lives. We at Honua, our volunteers, our network, represent a variety of expertise and knowledge, and yet we know that we don't cover everything. And so this competition is really a way for students to just get creative and help us, as well as our broader network, learn about what issues our students are currently interested in and the ways that they've been thinking creatively to solve them. And then in terms of the history, I'll just go through, so the past 3 years, what we as an organization are really proud of is that each year we've been able to expand our reach and scope. So in 2022, we only opened the competition to high school students. As you can see, it was mostly written. In 2023, we expanded again to include middle school students. And then this past year, 2024, was the first year that we included college students, undergraduates specifically. And then, as I mentioned, we also had students give pitches, so oral presentations of their work And on the right, you can see just a handful of students who were rewarded for their exceptional entries and participation. And then these are just a handful of some of the winning proposal topics, just to give our our viewers today and those watching the recording later an idea of just some of the topics that students have um, shared with us in terms of what are some of their interests. So at the top we see one on exotic bird species monitoring on Oahu. In 2023, we had a student submit a winning proposal on crosswalk safety. And then most recently, 2024, a student submitted a proposal on machine learning models and gut microbiome health. And again, you can see a variety of experimental and technological approaches to the proposal competition. Next, I'll just go over a few of the updates now to our 2025 competition. This looks like a lot, but I'll break them down. Number one, we're going to be continuing our partnerships with Purple Mai'a and PACE, which is at the University of Hawaii at Manoa, their Pacific American Center for Entrepreneurship. We are also excited to announce additional partnerships with Kamehameha School's KS Kaiaulu, Windward Community College, and then the Native Hawaiian Center of Excellence at the John A. Burns School of Medicine, also here on Oahu. Number two, I just want to reiterate, this isn't necessarily an update, but just something to be mindful of. Again, we're opening this to all students in grades 6 through 12, as well as undergraduate students. And we're not excluding, geography. So even though we are a Hawaii-based organization, students that attend school on the US continent or in other Pacific Island nations are welcome to submit. Number three, we are still open to proposals written in English as well as Pacific Island languages. Those, just some examples being Hawaiian, Samoan, and Marshallese. Number four, this is an important update that we want to be able to share this is due to the, increased number of requests in the past few years. So for the 2025 proposal competition, we will be accepting group submissions as well as individual submissions. It's up to students and their teachers' discretion to determine the sizes of the groups, but we recommend a maximum of 3 to 4 students. And then number five is this 2025 iteration, we are accepting 2 proposal types, scientific experiments and technology and invention. And then a third option in response to current events. We are hoping to invite students to submit creative persuasive advocacy entries. And I'll go over those in a couple slides from now. But essentially for this, we're hoping to invite students to submit creative essays, poems, maybe even artwork, but essentially just tapping into students' creativity and STEM ideas in order to persuade folks to respond to the current events regarding, threats or attacks rather on science from recent policy changes. Number 6, I don't have as much information as I would like, and if so, I could also invite a co-presenter, Dr. Kyle Yoshida, to jump in on this portion of this slide. But for awards and prizes, we are going to continue to award top proposals in each category and age group. And then we introduced in 2024 a fellowship, the Kamea Inina Owel Fellowship, which provides opportunities for students to advance their projects and actually, move their proposals from a written format to actual outcomes. And so through a partnership with Purple Mai'a, this was the 2024 to 2025 year was the first iteration of that. And so we are excited to announce a continued relationship with Purple Mai'a to support this fellowship. We don't have specific concrete details yet, but we hope to be able to provide that information to students and teachers hopefully in the at least by the fall quarter, um, if students are curious. Kyle, anything to add on there?
That's all for now. But yeah, there will be a number of prizes, and in addition to kind of the projects that are worked on with Purple Maita and folks from Honua Scholars, there might also be other groups and research labs that will also be kind of looking at proposals and seeing if the students might be good candidates to like intern in other labs and other places throughout Hawaii or even broader on the continent. So yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Kyle. So yes, not only tapping into the, I guess, financial resource aspect of the competition, but also the networking and the community building aspect as well. Especially because overall, as an organization, our intention is to continue to strengthen and retain the STEM, you know, high school through college STEM pipeline, both in Hawaii and beyond. So, in many ways, the fellowship and just the opportunity to be mentored and connected with, as Kyle mentioned, internships, outside opportunities is another big benefit to entering. So yeah, thanks, Kyle, for um, adding that in. Um, and then this just brings us to some specific updates in terms of what is unique to the 2025 competition. So as I mentioned, the theme this year is Keolopono, which is which we translate and interpret to be the science of wellness. There are many different I guess, facets and factors that go into wellness, which we are aware of. And so we wanted to keep this theme as broad as possible to allow for students' individual interpretations of what that could look like. So if you go through our informational packet, you'll see that we have ideas of it being physical wellness, mental wellness, emotional, spiritual, etc. So we think of it broadly and we just invite multiple interpretations to that. The second component here is the types of submission. So again, as I mentioned, we are inviting two types of proposals. One would be scientific experiments that ideally would test hypotheses. And then the second is an invention or a technology, which ideally students would similarly pitch some sort of new app, for example, or an actual physical product or something like that that could respond or help generate this idea of wellness. And then the third one, as I mentioned earlier, is the persuasive advocacy. So again, this is a creative writing option, which would still need to respond to this theme of Keolopono, science of wellness. But in the description on the information packet, again, there are a variety of ways. That doesn't necessarily need to be written in a proposal format, which is typical of science classes. It can be more creative and sort of free flowing. Great, so this just brings me to the final section of today's presentation, which is just preparing and submitting a proposal. So this again will look similar to the 2024 iteration, but this is a screenshot from our proposal competition webpage, which was taken today. So this is what it actually looks like. And step one, at least for us, which we recommend would be to go to step one, click the information packet on our website. Also, as you can see, the deadline marked in red is October 15th, 2025. From here, the pages 2 to 4 provide students and teachers with an overview. So on the left is a screenshot of this year's guiding prompt in response to this idea of Keolopono, science of wellness. You can read it comes or was inspired out of the 13th Festival of Pacific Arts and Culture, which Hawaii hosted in June 2024. And then specifically in response to the 2024 revision to the Youth Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, which local students presented at FESPAC. And then on the right is an example or a screenshot of page 3, I believe, which again covers the instructions and deadline. So all that information is there, as well as examples. We tried to make this as comprehensive as possible, so it's quite dense in the information, and so we encourage teachers to hopefully, you know, when you're introducing these to students, especially if they're toward the 6th grade uh, age range, to explore examples with students and sort of hopefully give them maybe local examples that could help them understand. And then, of course, for those that are in college, we just encourage you to read through this as much as possible so you can get an idea of what we are hopefully looking for in terms of the submissions. Step 3, at least in this presentation, but step 2 on the website is to review the consent forms. So because we open this to students that are underage, we do require a consent form both from a parent and guardian as well as a teacher certification, which we just do for us so that at least for the teacher side, we just want to make sure that teachers have been involved in the process of submitting a proposal. For the college side of it, this is just mainly, again, in case you are an underage college student. We just want to make sure parents also are aware of what their students are participating in. Next would be to return to the information packet and just review some of the prompts, rubrics, as well as templates that we've provided in the packet. As you can see here, this is an example of a tech proposal that we've prepared. So on the left, you see a sample template for a proposal, a rubric at the bottom, and then on the right, you'll see actually a winning sample of a tech proposal that won for 2024. And you can see exactly the different sections that at least our reviewers look for. So for a tech proposal, we're looking at an introduction, a description, implementation, community impact, and then your references. Lastly, submitting a proposal. We tried to keep this as seamless as possible, so everything will be done on Google Forms. You just click the submission form button, which is right there in the red circle. And then on the right, this is what the Google form looks like. So make sure if you're a teacher or if you're a student, you are directed to that exact link. And you just, pretty much everything is on that one Google form, and it's pretty seamless. So you're just going to be uploading your proposal and then the consent form, and then it'll just take you down. Take you down to the end, and you'll receive a confirmation that you've submitted. So that's all I have prepared for today. Thanks so much for attending and for your interest in our proposal competition. We are really excited that we have another opportunity to put this out into our community, and we're really excited to see what ideas, concerns, and needs our students are interested in. If you have any more questions or comments, please feel free to scan this for more details if you are watching the recording. And if not, if you're here live with us, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you in a sec. And then just before I do so, I just want to give, again, a big mahalo to our proposal competition sponsors and partners. Thank you so much for all you do and for partnering with us and joining us in our journey with this competition. Mahalo.
Thanks so much, Courtney.